Welcome to the Finjan Show. I'm your host, Faris Alami, and thanks for being with us today. Today's episode is brought to you by the concept of international strategic management, where we set up organizations and support organizations that launches entrepreneurship activities in a local community with a focus on underserved, underrepresented, or under-resourced communities. Programs like training, mentorship, funding, education, things of that nature. And of course, our most popular, the capacity building exchange, where we bring in individuals from all over the world to the US for 5 days training program, and it includes some touring of different facilities or different activities for entrepreneurs. Welcome. One of the things that we have been discussing for the past few months is the concept of goal setting. And as we continue to progress through the journey of working with entrepreneurs, we have learned that many times entrepreneurs don't have the time or don't take the time to set up goals. And what we have learned from our experience, that those who take the time to set up goals and write them down, or at least take the time to conceptually understand how those goals can be reached, had much better chances of reaching those goals. As a matter of fact, based on our observation, more than 50% of those entrepreneurs who wrote their goals seem to reach those goals, while many others that never took the time to conceptualize this idea, we don't really know the results because it never flourished to be anything. So my suggestion for you, and remember, our conversation here is not meant for do what Faris says. No, it's meant for conversation to start, hoping that you could dig deeper into it, that you could find ways to explore some of these concepts. One of them is writing down or taking the time to really understand what those goals meant. I shared in one of the blogs in the past about my goals. My first few days of sales, I sold none. And as I started writing down, I'm going to sell 3 today, or 1 today, or 2 today, I started slowly reaching those goals that I've written down for myself. And even when I opened more offices throughout the South in the past, once I started writing it down and seeing it, or maybe for those who are with some disability that are able to see, just taking the time to conceptualize it and really exploring it much more than just a quick discussion. What I've noticed that once I started having it visually available, or that I've took the time to write it down, or I took the time to understand what it really would take to make that work, those things started happening. And initially it seemed like forever, but when they start happening one after another. So my suggestion would be is take the time to write some goals down. Take the time to really make sure that you're spending the time to understand what these goals would take, what would it take to make those goals happen. So, and you don't have to start big, right? You can start small. I started my first day with 3 sales a day. Initially, I went back to 1 because I just wanted to do 1 for the day because I haven't sold any for days. Then I went to 2, then I went to 3. And then once I learned that I could reach it, I started coming up with a system. Maybe I could do it 2 to 3 times in a row before I could notch it up to the next level. And then once I got it that way, then I was able to notch it up. So once I did 3 sales for the day, then a couple of days, then 3 days later, I made it 4. And then I started learning that maybe I could break up the day in sections. So maybe my first half of the day, I just need to do 1. Or my first 2 hours, I just need to do 1. And then I spend my energy and became really focused on that just 1 sale. And as it continued to evolve, I learned that I could do 2 in a day or 2 in an hour, and slowly started moving to be more aggressive, maybe you could say, or more focused about those goals. So I encourage you to think about what can you do to create a goal that you could set for yourself and slowly keep aiming higher as you continue to reach them. What might look in the beginning so long from now might actually get you there much faster when you start reaching them. And then I use that as a sales goals, but it could be opening offices. It could be hiring a staff. It could be training staff. It could be any of these other activities. And I would encourage you to have those goals as well, because it's not only about sales. Goals are much broader than that. And of course, you could take this to your personal life, but as you know, our goal with this Finjan show here is to really bust myths about entrepreneurship, bust and create a journey for those who want to explore entrepreneurship as a pathway for them or a career for themselves. So I encourage you to take the time to set the goals. And it doesn't have to be sales, could be operations, could be management, could be anything else. And I encourage you to set them up in a way that could be meaningful for you to reach them and slowly start notching them to the next level of whatever that is for you. Till the next time, I'm your host, Faris Alami, and this is the Finjan Show. Thanks for being with us today.